Oh, hold on. Oh, you're live? Okay.
Here we are. I could take it off if you need a minute and come back.
It's just gonna close the door, but that's fine. People know.
Okay, wonderful. Here we go. Welcome, everyone, to Meetings with Masters. I'm here today with my good friend and totally like inspired by you all the time, Andres Rivera Hurtado. How'd I do? I love
You're
trying to
you're
say that name, but
you're
getting
gonna
better.
get it. You're gonna get it perfectly one day. I know one day you're gonna get it perfectly, but I appreciate the effort so much.
Please, please say your beautiful name.
Andres Rivera Hurtado.
Hurtado. Yes. Well, I might never get it that beautiful, but anyway, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, Andres, because you truly do inspire me every day with what you're doing in the world and how you've transformed your life at such a young age, and and the lives that you're inspiring to be transformed along the way as well, and what you're doing. And you're really masterful at helping people create awareness to transform their lives. And you're really like, talk about, this is about having elevated conversations with people who are making an impact in personal growth and development, and an impact in other people's lives, which of course creates just, it's a bigger ripple effect for the greater good for humanity. So I love that we've finally got this, made this happen today. And what I really want to start with is, where did this start for you? Where did this journey start for you? Tell us about you, where you're from, and how you've come to a place where so much transformation happened at a young age. And yeah,
Thank
let's hear
you.
that first.
Thank
Yeah.
you. No, thank you, and thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me. It's I follow your show and the interviews that you do, so it's awesome to be here, be one of the participants on the other end. So thank you again for what you do and for having me here. And so regarding me, like I had a beautiful childhood. My dad, he had a successful business when I was growing up. So I had an awesome childhood. Loving family. We pretty much had it all. Like we weren't like ultra high elite, but we were very like we had what we needed and more. And I was very blessed with that. And as I was growing up, life happened, and all of a sudden things were from being like super amazing to not so amazing to like, oh my God, what's happening, to like, whoa, it just drastic change in our family economy. And this was in my teens, and it got me to really just pretty much be on the lookout for myself, and also to fend for myself and go after things and figuring things out. Because when I was 14 years old, my dad looks at me and he tells me, son, I can't help you go to college. I can't help you pay for college. If you want to go to the United States, which was my dream. I watched the movie American Pie when I was probably at an age where you should not watch American Pie, but that lit up my eyes to possibility, to like, wow, I can leave Puerto Rico and I can experience more. So I always had that sense of curiosity. And when my dad tells me that, he sits me down and said, son, I can't help you. I can't help you financially. And I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel angry. I just saw a moment of decision. It's either I stay in Puerto Rico, which was my reality, or what was, you could say, destined for me, like what was written for me. It was easy. It was like I would get paid to, like, on top of what top of studying, to stay and study. So it was an easy choice, but I didn't want that, and I had no idea how I was gonna make it to the U.S. My SATs were horrible. So it's like, how am I going to do this? And I stumbled upon the law of attraction. So, I'm from the island of Puerto Rico, born and raised in the island of Puerto Rico. And, life, I see it now as life happening for me. And it led me into a path where I started dreaming. I started truly seeing possibility. I started believing in something bigger. And I didn't really understand it. I just went like, hey, listen, if this is a possibility, I'm going to go for it. And I made it. I was the first one in my family to make it to the U.S. through tennis, playing tennis. And just, that's the only thing I did for about a year and a half. I played tennis. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym, to work out, to work on myself, on my court movement, you name it, ultimately conditioning, going to school, out of school, practice from 3 p.m. all the way to 8, 9 p.m. at night, every single day, rinse and repeat. And that got me to the United States. This is where it all started. It all started with like possibility to, okay, how can I make this happen? Like, how can I go where I want to? How can I achieve my dreams? How can I, make the impossible possible? So like that's how it began.
Wow. Like, why? Right? Like, why was that so important to you to make that happen?
Thank you, and thank you for asking that, because it's as I think about it, and when I think of why, it was more like, why not? It was more like, why not? Like, why should I settle to stay here if I can find a way to go and explore, if I can find a way to go and grow and learn and live and experience something different, get out of the norm, do what everybody else does, and which is just stay here and stay in the same routine and not go out, explore, get uncomfortable. And that's where unconsciously I was starting to get into what I dedicate my life to right now, and that led into more discovery. Like, if you had met me 10 years ago, it was like, it's like night and day. Just terrible attitude. I was super shy, super quiet. And the attitude was not demonstrated. It was all it stayed with me because of the society, I guess, I grew up in, where you're always hiding. You're always hiding what's really happening. You're not expressing your feelings. So that got me in a position where I was timid. I was shy. And I guess the way that I expressed what I wanted was to go after the impossible, to just like, hey, let's just experience. Let's go out there and see what happens with that belief inside that. Listen, if this law of attraction says it's possible, then I'm just going to go and I'm going to make it.
I'm going to try it, right? Because, I mean, 10 years ago, what? You were 18 10 years ago?
I mean, 18.
That was... Yeah, yes. So you're a teenager, so there's that, you're a teenager. I mean, look how far you've come in that time. That's remarkable. And so I want to acknowledge you really for that, because, that is usually often for people, they start to have more awareness in their, later years, especially when you haven't gone through something. I mean, I know you went through something. You said your dad stopped, stopped his financial abundance that he was having at the time. And so I'm wondering if there was something in there that, that created that. And then that also caused you to have that drive you had real big, like, ambition to get out of that norm and to get to the States. And so you truly created it for yourself. But there was something that, was it that moment that he said that triggered it, or was there something else that?
Well, it was a combination of things, right? It was my mother. I remember it like it's yesterday. I asked her once, okay, as I was growing up and thinking of like, oh, what am I going to do with my life? Where am I going to, am I going to be a lawyer? Am I going to follow the same steps my dad did? Am I going to be a doctor? I wanted to be an astronaut at one point, which physics was not with me. And so that was not going to be my trajectory. So, but I asked my mom, Mom, like, how, like, if I want to become a business person, if I want to do this, or if I want to do that, I wanted to be a professional tennis player at one point. It's like, Mom, how do I do this? And I remember her telling me, like, son, the only thing you need to know is, do you want it? And if you want it, it's possible, because you can do whatever you set your mind to. And I just burned that into my mind. And I just saw no other way other than what I wanted, it became a part of me. And when my dad told me that, I could feel his sadness for not being able to give me what he truly wanted. But ultimately, what he did was a blessing, and what happened was a blessing, because if that hadn't happened, and if it was given to me, I would not be where I'm at today. I would not be here. So it's one of those things that you look back and you say, thank you, for everything that happens.
Yeah, right. Because it does truly happen for you, and it takes people a long time to comprehend that sometimes, depending on what they go through. So it's really, really powerful that you've been able to see that, and you really, um, you went for it, and then you went. Okay, so backing up, you dove hard into tennis. Tennis got you to the States. You said, right? Was that because you became a tennis pro? Did you go to college? Did you get into a college and for tennis, or I'm curious. Yeah.
So I didn't become a pro. I didn't follow that path. I played juniors. I played. I got to. I made it to top 10 in Puerto Rico as an underdog because I started late in the sport. I started playing tennis when I was 12 years old, and I was just focused on scholarship, and sending videos out. And a college called Manhattanville College, they gave me a grant, and it was like, oh my god! Like they accepted me, which I was like, wow, they accepted me, and now all of a sudden, like I'm getting a scholarship to play tennis, and I'm going. So it was it was that way. It was just it's like wow, they want me to play for them, and I'm going to be playing tennis, and I'm going to be studying over there. It was like everything just aligned. And
Everything you wanted.
yes, yeah, I went there, unknown territory, no idea what was going to happen, but just super excited with the journey.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. That's amazing. So wait, that's how old were you then? Did you say 17?
17. Yeah, 17
Yeah.
years old. I was a freshman in college. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you went to Manhattanville. So then did you live in New York?
I lived in New York. I was there. I studied finance just because I had to study something. I didn't really know what I wanted to do for a living, like what I wanted to go work afterwards. I had in my mind that I wanted to be a lawyer, but soon after speaking to a lot of lawyers there in New York City, just building those relationships, figuring out how the experience was, I was like, no way, no way. And much respect for attorneys, like
No,
not
thank you.
saying anything about the profession. It's and I know a lot of attorneys myself, and my family love their work and what they stand for, but it just wasn't for me. Beginning with with 3 years of law school and all that stuff, it just wasn't for me. And I studied finance. A counselor told me, you study finance. It's a basis for everything, and ultimately, when you graduate, you'll have a job. I'm like, okay, cool. And then that's the route I took. I had a job straight out of college with a big company. I did rotations. The corporate world, and I was pretty much I was the only Hispanic or Latino guy in the group, and it was it was weird. It was, and I say weird because it was like it's a different world. It's a different world, and ultimately the effort that one has to put in to stand out and to overcome the majority in terms of opportunity and who they ascend and who gets treated in a different way and who gets it was a challenge for me because I was super shy. Again, I was super shy. I was super like into my shell. So the only way that I demonstrated my capabilities was through like creating stuff and building. But ultimately, when it came to speak up, when it came to share my voice and my opinions, it just wasn't in me. Like there was just this part of me that was inhibited by what was happening outside. So that led me into just getting to a point where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I worked 4 years in finance, and I was behind a computer all day, just crunching numbers, analyzing, presenting. I was good at it, but there was just something inside of me saying there's just more. There's more for us to do. Like I want to be out there helping people. I want to have my own business. I want to earn more money, and I don't want to be 10 hours a day building spreadsheets and analyzing numbers. So that got me to entertain the idea of entrepreneurship. Okay, like what can I do? I get into business, I get into real estate, I get into digital marketing, I get into network marketing, all these different businesses, different concepts of helping people, but like nothing was really resonating with me, and my results were showing that because I was moving, but I was moving backwards. I quit my finance job. I decided to become an entrepreneur full time with real estate, and that wasn't working out. I was having extra like odd jobs on the side just to pay rent in New York City, and it was difficult. Like it was a difficult time. and that's where I stumbled upon Bob Proctor's material. Bob Proctor from the movie The Secret, and I connected the dots from watching the movie The Secret when I was 14, and then now when I'm 22, around 22 years old, or 23 years old, I see that connection again. It's like, whoa, like there's something here, and that's where it was truly blind faith. I put the tuition on a credit card for a whole year of mentorship with Bob. I was living on credit cards. I had no income. I had all this massive debt on top of me. It's like, what?
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna go for it, and if it works, amazing. If it doesn't, I'm gonna figure a way just to stay afloat and just either get back into a job. I was gonna figure it out, but I went for it. I used money that wasn't mine, and my entire life changed. My entire life changed.
Wow.
I found my passion. I found my purpose. I found my drive. I found a way to move forward. That whole year was studying, applying, focusing on how I can get better, using the laws of the universe, creating that alignment. It just transformed everything. I took the weight off my shoulders with the debt. I was getting promoted. I was having results that were just out of this world, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the material. All I wanted to do was teach it. Next thing you know, I'm a coach. I invest in myself again. I start my business. I get to a point where I joined Bob Proctor's sales and coaching team. And I essentially was working with Bob Proctor, working for Bob Proctor, and coaching people all over the world, seeing what they don't see about their potential and how to use it. Not just see it and recognize it, but how to use it to truly manifest the life that they want. So that's where the journey kind of there's a whole lot in there. Like that year and a half felt like a decade for me, because it's just so many things happen, so many feelings expressed, so much growth, so much just embracing and acceptance that it transformed my life.
Wow. And many others, which is amazing. And so I want to really acknowledge you for that, because it's so, I'm thinking about when you said before how there was something in you in your younger years that knew you wanted to learn and grow. You really you yearned for it early on, and that you had to stretch yourself by figuring out how you were going to get to the States and do what you want to do. So you had to get out of your comfort zone, which is really one of the biggest things we can do to get where we want to be. You have to go out of your comfort zone, right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Be resourcefulness, and you were resourceful with I'm sure it didn't feel good to put money on your credit card while you were doing it, but you knew. It's it's as if you knew, right? Tell us about how does it feel when you were taking that big leap and that big risk, and then
thank you. Yeah, no, and thank you
through that,
because that was a truly just a life-changing moment for me. Prior to investing with Bob and Bob Proctor's mentorship program, I had invested in a real estate education company, which was 3 or I'd say 4 times the amount of the investment that I did with Bob for a whole year, because it was a whole education platform on real estate. And this is where I was. I don't know where my head was just looking at possibility, because I saw the price tag of the training program, and it was $30,000. I was like, oh my God, I've never put that amount of money into something. And I was 23 years old, and I was like, whoa, I got myself into I didn't have savings. I had a bunch of credit cards, but I want to do this. This is something I want to do. This I see they gave you everything. I saw a possibility, and I stepped into it. You know what? If one deal can pay for this entire investment, that's what I hooked onto. But that one deal never came. so it was a struggle after struggle, and then it's another 7,000 for a year. It's well, it's fine. I'm already in the hole for so much. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll just do it. So it was. I guess I built the habit of it's just money. It's money. Money's to be used. If I'm already in the hole, what's another 7,000 going to be? So that's how I thought about it, and where it could take me.
Where it could take you is the difference. Yeah.
It was scary. Like, it was scary as heck, but I was just looking at, okay, what if it does work? Like, what if it
right.
work?
Well, that's where people get stuck in limitation, right? Like, I can't, I won't, or why would I do that? It's too risky.
Mm-hmm.
What if it doesn't work? Well, if it doesn't work, then you try something else, or, right. If it does work, then your life of your dreams everything is possible. And if you don't try it, then we'll never know. And what is that? What's that? You always, I don't know. I'm trying to get that term, but whatever shots you don't take. What's that term? What's that?
You miss all the shots you don't take.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? Yeah. So it's true, right? And so you were resourcefulness, and you stretched yourself. And when we do that, we can go further. And and I'm thinking, like, in some ways, because you had the scholarship for college, it was kind of, you were paying for college,
Yeah.
And so that's what I felt like when I did it for myself, but I did it at 48, after a long marriage ended. But and it was true. That's what I felt like. It's like you were taking that out and stretching yourself and bettering yourself and the possibilities for a better future by taking that step.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. And so and for someone so young to put themselves into personal growth, well, it was really, really powerful. There was something that, that you were learning about the law of attraction, and you wanted to make that, part of who you were, because you were seeing it work. It really does work, right? When things start to, and then everything, and then, it's peaks and valleys, right? It's still peaks and valleys.
It's nurturing your mind with ideas that are going to help you move forward, with ideas that are going to help you express yourself more, love yourself more, like respect yourself more, and ultimately transcend that into what you do. Whether that's a coach, whether that's an attorney or an engineer or a doctor, it really doesn't matter. It's all about you putting all of you into it, but loving what you do and understanding how results are created. It's all you're thinking. We sabotage ourselves. Like, heck, and I'm not perfect at this. Like, I coach people and I help them, but I have my own growth journey. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. It's all about growing. It's all about accepting that and understanding that it's a journey. It's a process, and there's always a way. But yeah, I feel like I didn't like say one day I woke up, it's like, oh, I'm going to study personal development. In my case, it was just like put right in front of me because there was no other option. Like, either I just kept on doing what I was doing, what wasn't working, or I figure out a way to grow. Because when I was growing up, reading was not a part of me. And then I made it a part of me. I started studying, I started nurturing my mind, and things started changing, so it's it was I was pretty much pushed into, like, listen, start nurturing your mind, start taking care of you on what's happening inside, and the outside's going to be reflected. At first, I didn't do that at all. At first, I was like, okay, well, I have no other choice. Like, either I continue doing what I was doing, or, hey, try this. Like, and I connected it with the law of attraction. It was like, well, there's something here. Like, there's just something that I'm not seeing, but I know it's going to be good for me. So, and that's why I'm into it,
Yeah. And that is, I mean, I was like, when you were saying that, I'm like, we have to, when you decided to invest in the time in reading those books and understanding it, and what a difference that it makes, but having that faith and belief in the possibilities of what, again, like, what if it does work, right? So the belief in that it will work, and just like those and transforming those limiting beliefs, and you do that in your own life, then of course, then you can carry other people through it in their own limiting beliefs and help them rise above and extend beyond them beyond those limiting beliefs, and you've been able to do that so beautifully. And of course, we came together because of people that we are mutually connected with and mentored by, Susan Hum, who we both love and are grateful to have her in our lives, and that we came together through that and through the Unblinded movement, which I know you've now been working a lot. Yeah, Unblinded movement, where Sean Callaghan teaches about making more money in less time with more magic, and you grabbed onto it. And like, what are you doing now with your community? So you have a podcast. Let's talk about your podcast and what you're doing in your community to help so the Unblinded movement helps people learn influence-based integrity in sales, right? So and you're good at that already. I know you are, and you're super young, and now you're really bringing that to your community and your culture, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Or tell me.
Yeah. Yes. What Sean did is and what he's doing with Unblinded, he gave me a structure around what I was doing. So I was implementing a lot of things when it comes to emotional rapport and connecting with people, but ultimately getting from a hello to yes, and with integrity and a win-win-win for everybody. And you're doing it to help. You're changing the face of what sales is. Right. And doing it in a way that you're connecting heart to heart with someone, and you're truly understanding what's happening. You're giving the gift of people to be seen, heard, and understood, and helping them see their future with you and your work. So I fell in love with that. Like it's a technique. It's a way for you to communicate, and I've been carrying that with the work that I do. It's made me a better coach. It's made me a better communicator. It's helping me express myself more. So it's huge. What Sean Callaghan and the Unblinded movement is doing, it's amazing. It's just out of this world. When it comes to my podcast, I started that last year. It's going to be September. What is it? Around end of. I have to look up the date that I started. I don't remember it. I believe it's September, around September time. So it's going to be a year and a couple of days that I've done. I've done over, I'd say, 271 episodes. And they're small, they're short, small doses of inspiration, motivation, coaching, every single day. So they're out there, and it's called the frequency of abundance. That's translated in Spanish. It's frecuencia de abundancia, and it all stemmed from what I started studying with Bob and the laws of attraction, and the law of attraction, the laws of the universe, that we think in frequencies. We think in frequencies, and frequencies are different levels of vibration. Everything in this world is energy, is vibration, is different levels of vibration. So everything that we're going after, it has a vibration, it has a specific frequency. And when you align your thinking, your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions with the frequency of what you desire, everything that you need, everything, the resources, the people, the opportunities, the belief, everything that you need literally gets put right in front of you for you to get there, So it's as if you're magnetized to it, and what you want is magnetized to you, because you're stepping forward, and that's what I teach. That's what I show people through different ways, for them to entertain different ideas, start seeing themselves through the prism of possibility and abundance, which is what everybody wants. Everybody wants more. Everybody wants a better quality of life. Our soul, our spirit craves for more. Like we were designed for growth. We were designed to express all that beauty and be us. That's God expressed within us, and we are one with God in the universe. So it's tapping into that and understanding it that just changes your entire life, your entire perspective on what you're experiencing.
Absolutely.
So I've been doing that in Spanish. Like the whole podcast is in Spanish. I'm doing interviews with leaders here in Puerto Rico, Latin America, Spain, and just expanding, just giving people possibility, giving people the key, the way for them to truly express what they desire and go after it, not just stay comfortable or settle with what their reality is. Because it's BS. Like it's BS. Like we just the idea that what you get is what you deserve, or what you get is what you're meant to. Like that's your reality. You can't do anything about it. If like this is what you get. That's BS. Yes, like there's so much power within us, and it's not expressed out because of ignorance, because of not knowing who we really are and what we're
Right.
capable of. And we feed
Yeah.
ourselves these BS stories that are just not true. They're just based on the idea of someone else. Either that was growing up, your friends, your colleagues, the newspaper, the news, the economy, what's happening, and that creates a paradigm, creates an image about us, a pattern that it's difficult to break. But the moment you do and you stay consistent, looking for how to get better and how to just continue moving forward, you're going to get what you want. It's a law.
It's unbelievable. And I just feel the power within you in that. And it you know, it really does come from a place of believing what you feel in your soul, I feel, what your soul is calling you to do, like following that. Like, I cannot wait. You have like little thoughts sometimes when you're in that place of doubt, like, oh, maybe I could do that. Oh, no, 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 no. Well, when you
Yeah.
actually have those thoughts, for whoever's watching, like when you have those thoughts and that belief, you know, you can and start to believe in yourself, you can actually make those things happen. You know, it really is powerful, Nat, but starting to have the self-love and the self-belief um and knowing that you're made for more, that you're made to be a bigger part of what humanity, you know, the greater good of humanity, right?
Yes. Yes.
And it's really powerful when people start to believe in themselves. I mean, it's so amazing, and believing the magic that's within them, right?
Yes. And the funny thing is, it takes the same amount of energy, to think about the worry, the doubt, the fear, than it takes for you to think about prosperity, possibility, abundance, you know, your ability to do it, your belief in yourself. It takes the same amount of energy. It's just one of them is scarier. The other one's comfortable, you know, and because we're used to it. We're conditioned that way. We're conditioned to just take in whatever gets thrown at us and just like, oh, well, this is the circumstance. What am I going to do for me? You know, so and it's when you don't accept that, when you understand how your mind works, it changes the entire game. So it excites me. Like it really gets me excited to work with new people, because it's opening their eyes. I'm doing what someone else did for me, and it's the best feeling in the world.
Ah, man, that is absolutely amazing, and I love it that you're doing it. It's, you know, that you found that early on in your life, really, because you're going to be able to help so many and inspire and empower so many people. And you know, there's one more. You know, we're doing so many cool things just together, because in a group that we're part of, literally a team magic, which is doing lots of things. You know, we have a big accountability group, really, and we are seeing magic within all of us because of just believing and seeing the possibilities and going for it. And so one of the things you're doing, and I don't want to get off here because we talked about it a lot yesterday, which was awesome. And so I don't want to go into it too much, because if people are watching, they can go back to yesterday's interview with you. But, you know, so now you've stepped into the space of cryptocurrency, because here's the thing too, everybody, and I want you to know that, I'm sure Andres can speak to this, that we can collect, you know, you can collect multiple streams of income when you're an entrepreneur. You can do it anyway, but you know, that you have the opportunity to say yes to that, yes to that, yes to that, and put your heart into it and soul. If it doesn't work, then you don't, and you try something else. But you decided to go for something that sounded super promising. So let's tap into that for just a minute. If there's unless there's something else you want to talk about on law of attraction, but I think this is part of it too. You were attracted to this, and it was attracted to you.
Yeah, it all starts with your thoughts. And when we're talking about abundance, prosperity, and you start studying successful, wealthy people, what do they all have in common? They don't have just one stream of income. They don't just have one. They have multiple streams of income. And now some of these can be super big, some of these can be small, but they're all flowing into your bank account. So it's a matter of putting in the time to build these sources of income. Now it's important for you to, you know, establish what you're doing. Ultimately, as you're growing, you start entertaining different ideas and what else to do, what resonates with your heart. And this is the case with cryptocurrency. And that's not my main business. That's not the main thing that I do, but it's something that it's looking towards the future. It's looking towards where our economy is headed, cashless society, with the things that we're seeing around the world financially, it's just it makes sense. It makes sense that we're moving into a digital world. Look at what's happening now with meetings, with events. Like everything is digital, where like cash is disappearing. So when it comes to that, like the value and the conception and the acceptance of cryptocurrencies, it's increasing. It's being adopted in China, Australia, the US, the banking systems. People are starting to accept, like, hey, listen, there's going to be a shift. So yes, this is a new venture that I'm getting myself into, and you're in there with me as well, as we're beginning Crypto Wednesdays and educating people on crypto as well as ourselves. So it's a fun thing. I'm looking at it as a fun thing to do, and it's passive. It's on the side, but it's educating people on giving them a vehicle where they can earn cryptocurrency while just having conversations, right, educating others, and having a vehicle for them to earn in a coin, in a currency, cryptocurrency that has value in dollars. So
right.
it's ultimately about growing your investments towards the future, but at the same time diversifying where you have your money. So it's exciting. It's entertaining. The technology is powerful. How it's being adopted and what we're seeing in that world. So it's definitely worthy to look into it, because it's going to happen. Like the change is going to happen. We're seeing changes all over the place. So it's all about entertain the idea. If it's not for you, fine. But if something clicks inside, something connects inside, go for it. That's the only way you'll find out.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what you. Yeah, especially with what? Sorry.
Especially when you're working with people like us, like we understand what we're getting ourselves into, and ultimately what we're doing to help other people. It's all about creating a team environment where you're not alone, so that's right. The exciting thing about this as well. So yeah, like multiple projects happening, but it's fun, it's exciting, it's growing, it's collaborating. So that's what I love about it.
Yeah, it's really amazing to collaborate with people doing amazing things in the world, and I'm excited. So I'm excited to be part of your community in the cryptocurrency. I'm excited to be part of your community anyway, and we are going to have, Andres and I are going to have Crypto Wednesdays, right? We're going to chat about cryptocurrency, because I am a total I have no idea, but I knew it was the right thing to do, was to do this with you and to step in and invest in it. And I feel good about it. I'm super excited, and I'm excited to share with others, because I know it's really gonna elevate my financial abundance, and among the other things I'm doing in the world. So I am excited for all that you're doing, Andres, and I want to make sure that you please tell everybody where they can find out more about you, and then we'll be sure to post it in the links. But do you wanna share that?
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, you can find me if you go to Spotify, and if you don't speak Spanish, you will have to learn Spanish, or just listen to put stuff in, because that's the material that I have on right now in that platform is all in Spanish. It's called Frecuencia de Abundancia, and you can find it on Spotify, iTunes, Anchor, Anchor.com, Anchor.fm, so ANCHOR.fm. Mm-hmm. Or you can find me on Facebook, just my whole name, as you can see here on the screen. And reach out. I'm very open. I'm very open to having conversations and meeting new people and hearing your story. Like I love hearing the stories of people and where they come from and what they're up to. And yeah, so it's very simple to contact me. It's just a matter of knowing that, hey, it's okay to reach out. It's okay to connect. I don't bite. I consider myself pretty friendly, pretty ultimately just giving. So reach out. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. More than happy to chat.
Awesome. Having conversation with Andres is always inspiring. So, and if you guys are wondering about the cryptocurrency stuff, you can reach out to either one of us, and anyone, if you want to know anything, you can reach out to us. We're two open, willing people here, excited to have conversations with new people and always. So I invite you as well. And Susan, we love you too. She's saying, love you guys. We love you too. And thank you so much, Andres. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. And everyone watching, I appreciate you being here, and look forward to, staying connected and seeing you again for Crypto Wednesdays next week. if not sooner. Andres?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, absolutely. No, I'd say if there's something that you want, don't wait. Go for it.
Yeah.
Even if the circumstances seem like it's impossible, don't wait. Just go for it. Go for
Yeah.
it because the
Thank
help is gonna be there. The help is gonna
Yeah.
be there. The money's gonna be there. The people are gonna be there. It's our own self that stops us. So stop feeding
Mm,
yourself this BS that you can't do it. That poor me. Like what can I do? How can I do it? Just go. Just go.
yes.
Just decide
Yes.
what you want and just go. The way is gonna get shown up to you. And if you want help,
Absolutely. Don't
reach
wait.
out. Reach
Yeah.
out. Gina, right there. You
Absolutely.
see her as an interviewer, but she's an empowerment coach. Like she's been through some amazing, just unbelievable things that she's overcome. So, like the way that she can help you and the way that she can empower you to make better life choices and go after what you want, it's right there.
Mm.
So reach out to Gina, reach out to myself, and don't be a stranger because it's all about helping each other and making this world a beautiful place.
A better place. Thank you, Andres. Yeah. And you know what? I'm all about elevating the love frequency here and love coaching and doing some amazing things in that space. And so thank you. Thank you for sharing all that amazing compliments of me. I appreciate you. And yeah, so we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Reach out. We love you. Have an awesome day.
Bye bye.
Bye.